Hey guys, so tonight we are going to do another streaming, which is like an exquisite cadaver. It's a collaboration between Jose Rosales and I. We are dividing a creature or character right now. I mean, it's supposed to be like an alien, at least. So far, it looks like an alien. Um, we are dividing the character into several parts. You can see the map right here, like a little template of how we are actually dividing the limbs and the head and the torso. So the red parts on this little man are the ones that I'm going to sculpt, and the blue ones are the ones from Jose. So right now he already did like part of the chest. Last trim I did like the lower part of the head. He actually did a very cool design right here. I really love the way it's turning these characters. It's really crazy looking. Hey Alfie, ¿qué onda bro? ¿Cómo estás? Qué chido verte por acá. ¿Cómo te ha ido con la chamba ahorita? Um, so apparently this part is the chest of the alien. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add a little more detail into the structure I did for the head, and then I'm going to do like the shoulder plates because he's going to have like this weird looking armor and part of the arms. I really like the way the alien is looking right now. Es que no fuiste el último Drink and Scold, bro. Hey, Glass. Yeah, I really love what Jose did with the chest. I mean, this part, it's super cool. I love the design. It's completely the idea I had for the character. Like very, even though it's an alien, I love the parts. They look like very elegant and a little baroque. So I love the character right now. I wasn't very sure at the beginning, but right now I'm loving it. I'm gonna modify a little bit of the mouth. Still not super sure about the mouth. So far, I'm going to leave it like that, and I'm going to start adding details to the armor. Next time for sure, Alfie. Hey, Germán, ¿qué onda, bro? Socio ahora. ¿Ya listo para la fiesta de disfraces? Este fin de semana, ¿no? Oh, glad you're fine, Glass. And I'm super happy to see you again here. I think I'm going to add a little more of these type of details into I don't know, things that he has like in the ears. And last time I had like this type of geometry, like very low poly looking, to cover like different parts of the. I suppose it's like a helmet. I'm still not sure, but now I'm thinking I want to do something different. I don't know. It's not a ZBrush party. A friend of mine, Herman, he's going to have like a Halloween party. Well, not Halloween, like a costume party. He was showing me his costume earlier, but he's very far from us. He's in Argentina, so we won't be able to go to that party. No, I'm going to try to do like the shoulders at least, and part of the arms. Not certain I'm going to finish the arms because I really want to like invest a lot of time finishing this part and the shoulder plates. I really have like a very decent idea for the shoulders, and Jose is actually going to do the legs, so that's actually his part of the stream. So right here is like a little guy. I think yeah, it's a new one because in the last stream, well, not the last stream, last creature we actually did together, we switched parts. I was doing like the head and the arm and the legs, and now I'm doing like part of the chest and the arm now. Hey Danny, how are you? Are you using layers tool? No, not really. I should be using more layers to be honest. It's like a very organized and powerful way to work, but I'm not really used to doing that in ZBrush. I want to be honest. Maybe in the future I'm going to like try to keep at least some type of pipeline which uses layers in ZBrush. But so far I'm I always forget to use layers unless for plane shapes. Then for that I always use like layers. So what I'm going to do now, it's a little like a net for this part that covers the mouth and this part. So I'm going to do like a little template. Hey Pika, thanks bro. Jose's been doing like an amazing job with the character. I was like a very insecure about the design at the beginning, but now I'm certain it's looking really interesting. I actually want to use like a lot of inspiration of what Chaos Masons, that like collective, is doing, like Marco and all those artists have like a very unique style. Yeah, I think I would use like layers for the same thing. Like when I actually remember to use them, I use them for the same, like for different styles of imperfections in the skin, like pores and scars, and it's easier to work that way. But most of the time, I forget about layers. So what I'm going to do is work on a plane. I'm going to subdivide a couple of times so I have enough resolution. What I want is actually to paint a mask with an interesting pattern. So I want something like very like baroque, like very elegant, but I still want it to be like a little alien. So I was thinking actually downloading like a mask, like a interesting template that I found in internet. However, I think it's easier for me like just to design an interesting floral design. So I will be able to add like different alien forms. Oh, you did, Danny? I can actually see a little of the of that influence on the model. I mean, I really love it. But they have like these very alien but stylized characters. They look like super great, super crazy, but at the same time realistic. So I can easily see what you mean by that. Jose was thinking in using like that type of references. Oh, I actually have an alpha that I bought for the summit. Let me see where I have it. I completely forgot the name of the artist that did like those ornaments. But yeah, I think I'm going to paint most of it and then add some alphas on top of it. Hey Angie, pues lo que pasa es que el stream, este stream en especial es en inglés principalmente, pero digo, tampoco hay problema en estar cambiando el idioma. La idea es que hacemos dos tipos de streams, José y yo. Uno en español, que es el que hacemos por separado, digamos, en el que creamos criaturas o personajes. Por ejemplo, José está haciendo un Majin Buu, yo he estado haciendo como diferentes sketches. Y este casi siempre es un poco más en inglés. Y es una colaboración entre él y yo. Hacemos el mismo personaje entre los dos. Pero igual, si tienen alguna duda en español, aquí estamos y podemos cambiar sin problemas. Hey Edwin, uh, thanks for the tip on Keyshot. I'm pretty happy that they were like useful to you. I wasn't sure, to be honest, if they were going to be like super useful. I tried once to do that type of rendering because I wanted to do like those clay renders that the guys from Blizzard do for their Overwatch characters. They have like the same effect of ambient occlusion, and I wanted to do like the same for a character that I did, like a fan art of an Overwatch character, and that's how I actually think that they do it. Like, I'm pretty sure they do like a different with a different rendering engine. That's for sure. But I mean, the idea is that they change the color of the ambient occlusion to have it like with different colors. Oh yeah, he also has some cool looking hard surface alphas. I only bought the ornament and I haven't used them. Besides in the summit, in the ZBrush summit, during the Sculpt off, that's the only time I actually use them. So it's actually a good idea to use them again. Juntai, ¿qué onda? Saludos desde México. ¿Qué hora es allá en Ecuador? Yeah, it's always useful to practice. Are you going this year to the ZBrush Summit, Alfie? Or any of you? Like, is in your mind actually to go? It's in September, I believe, at the end. I think it's like the last weekend of September. Yeah, I don't usually work with music. To be honest, it's super distracting for me. So I try to have, at least for the streams, music without lyrics. So it's not that distracting. And I'm also not a big fan of like electro and that type of music. So I think classical music it's like the perfect choice for this because it's not really that invasive. If he, I should have added more dog fighting. Oh yeah, my Darth Vader. I really wish I had like a bigger one or like the full suit, but it's like super expensive to be honest. Hey Romelo, hello, how are you? Welcome. Sion Finale, ¿qué estás haciendo? Estoy haciendo un patrón para lo que va a ser estas partes. Estoy experimentando, la verdad es que no tengo mucha idea, pero quiero hacer algo que se vea un poquito más en ese sentido, como una reja que protege esa parte. Oh man, the ILM challenge was such a cool experience. I wish there was like a second one. Most of the challenges of ArtStation right now, they've been like not studio focused, and I wish they had like another ILM challenge or maybe like a Blizzard challenge or I don't know, a challenge related to another studio. Trees, no, it's going to be like part of the alien looking armor of this guy. So so far I believe it's going to be like an alien, like a big dude, but with a very intricate and detailed armor. So it's supposed to be like very elegant in an alien way. Oh, great, great. Thank you, Romelo. For ornaments, I, I think that the best choice is actually to use the ones that I already bought. It's like a very cool gum road. Let me check if I have the gum road right here. Yeah, for example, I have like I can actually load one of those ornaments. For example, this one, nah, this one. Yeah. So But let me look for a clean mesh. The sphere. It's always nice to practice on top of the sphere. So I usually would use this type of alphas or create my own. Depends on the time that I actually have. No, that it's like if I am able to invest a lot of time, I would actually design the alphas. If it's like a quick job, then I'll use some alphas from someone else. Like these ones, I actually bought this one from a Gumroad, and they're like super cool. They have a lot of detail. They're really, really nice. Una pregunta, he visto que algunos crean. Am, ¿Sabes cómo hacen para poner la imagen de los ZBrush creados? Ah, ok. Um, sí, creo que me acuerdo. So, Junta is actually asking me how am I able to create like that little preview that we have like here in the brushes. I did it once, to be honest. I don't really remember that well, but I think it's like right here in create. Um, it's right here in brush, but I don't actually remember. Oh, okay. Yeah. For example, I'm going to make this like a different insert mesh. So it's actually like a new brush, for example. So we have like this new mesh. We already have like this preview, but I think this is going to work. Yep. You can hit. I think this is it. Yeah. For example, once you have like your new brush, you can actually go here and select icon and select one, and you have like this little image. So for example, if you want like, let's say, I don't want this to be like the image of my brush, but I want this to be like the image. And I have my brush, which is this one. What I will do is go to alpha, and I'm going to hit grab document. This will um, use the image from the document, like from the canvas. All these, it will make like a quick render and use it to create like an alpha. For example, I'm going to grab document, and right now I have right here the same image. So what I can do is actually use this image. For example, I can actually export it and save it as an JP. For example, this is the image, okay? And I go to my new brush, which actually right now has this image that I selected earlier. I go to brush, select icon, and now what I'm going to do is select like the other image that I created earlier, and that's it. You have like your own custom brush with its own custom image. So I hope that's what you were asking, Juntai. Olvidé que era en español la pregunta. Ah, la idea fue, tienes tu, por ejemplo, si lo que quieres para hacer tu imagen de tu brush es esta carita, lo que hice fue irme a alpha, le doy graph doc y lo que va a hacer es agarrar una imagen de todo lo que tienes en el documento. O sea, si tienes más de un objeto, eso es lo que va a grabar como imagen y te lo va a guardar aquí, en lo de texturas. Esta es la imagen. Y esta la puedes exportar, la grabas como quieres. Y digamos que tengo esta nueva brocha que pone caritas. Entonces lo que quiero es que la imagen sea una diferente. Entonces me voy a Brush, Select Icon y elijo la imagen que quiero. Bueno, esta no porque es un PNG con transparencia. Fue un mal ejemplo. Pero, por ejemplo, ahí está. Entonces la imagen que había creado es la que puedo usar para crear mi propio custom brush o custom IMM. Hey Daniel, ¿qué onda? Ah, ¿qué será hoy? ¿Un robot o un dinosaurio? No, de hecho es, es el collab que tengo con José. Estamos haciendo entre los dos un alien. Entonces, ya hasta ahorita llevamos esto. Él ha hecho como parte de la cabeza, yo hice la parte de abajo de la cabeza. Él hizo todo este que es como su pecho y ahorita voy a hacerle los hombros. Where do you create alphas like that? Well, you can actually make the alphas like right here in ZBrush. For example, I'm going to make this a polymesh. And let's say I want this to be an alpha. No, I'm doing this wrong, I believe. So I need actually a plane. Um, no, I think I was doing that right. Okay, let me check. I'm not certain. It's been a while since I actually created an alpha. So let's say I want to create an alpha of this. Right here on alpha grab document. Yep, it's the same way. You can actually go right here on alpha. Whatever you have like in your canvas in the document, that's going to be the alpha. And the gray parts, like it's going to be like completely transparent, and there isn't going to be like any type of deformation in the mesh. So you go to alpha, grab document, and it will create a new alpha. And you can go to a new model. First, let me change the alpha right here. And I go to my new alpha, and that's it. I have like my new alpha. That's one way of doing like alphas. The other one it's actually Photoshop. You can create like different type of images. Um, in order to have like this effect of different layers, it's better to use it like in ZBrush because you have like this gradient from white to gray, and it's really hard to make that on Photoshop. However, if you want to create like an alpha, like a very simple alpha, for example, an image in black and white with, um, for example, not sure if you're able to see this. I think so. I loaded this image. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just like a tile of geometric shapes that you can actually make in Illustrator or in Photoshop, and then export it in as a black and white image. So you're just going to need to import it right here, import, and you can actually import PNG, JPG, PSDs or PNGs, whatever. I mean, it's really easy to import files, and it creates a very different effect. So I hope that helps. in any way. Vientos. Can you check my sculpt? Yeah, sure. Let me check. Oh, it's cool. So I don't think I'm able to share it because my OBS is set up as just to show ZBrush. But since you already posted on the chat, I'm pretty sure everyone can see it. It's like a girl with an armor. It's looking really good. Maybe I would recommend for like the folds of the cloth. I mean, if you have Marvelous Designer, it's easier just to use it and then sculpt over the cloth simulation. I say it because it's, for example, it's way easier just to export a simulation and quicker. But they do look really good. I'm not certain about the legs. However, the folds of the arms, they really sell it. Especially because you don't have like everywhere the folds, just in the elbow and near that part of of the arm. So makes sense to have folds over there. It's looking great, man. So is it going to be like for a game or like for rendering? I'm not sure if this is going to work. I'm having doubts about it. Since the alien is like, oh, let me delete this. And I'm going to delete this as well. Since the alien not only has like this organic looking stuff, also like very hard surfacey geometric looking parts on the back. I want to have that type of detail also on the thing that I'm doing. I'm not certain the name of it. Oh yeah, I didn't realize it's actually Jose's madcap. Really nice of him to share the madcap. Let's see if this works the way I'm thinking it's going to work. I want the mesh to be a little more thick. It's not going to be like the final image. Right now, it's just a play. And yep. So it's looking like very alien, but I think it's working quite well. So what I'm going to do right now is actually add that to the part, to this part of the mesh. And I'm going to rename it because I hate having like a lot of subtools with the same name of Polysphere 1, Polysphere 2, Polysphere 5. So I guess this is going to be like ornament. Yeah, not with wax. But let me change that. There we have it, the almighty red wax. That's actually a very good idea, Mordekainer. I'm going to add this matcap to all the mesh, to all the subtools. So he actually is going to need, he's going to be like removing the matcap of each of every one of the subtools. Only his subtools? Oh, that's even better. Yeah, I like that more idea. So this is his subtool. Let me add the wonderful red wax and also this one, and this is his too, and also this one and this one. Oh, marvelous. So let me see. Yep, you can actually see the difference. Hey Héctor, haré un poco de hard surface, sí. Creo que la idea es un poco improvisar, entonces quiero justamente agregarle un poco de detalles hard surface al modelo. En especial porque le voy a hacer como unas sombreras, entonces sí le haré algunos detalles hard surface. So having this one, I'm going to duplicate it and oops, I think I did it wrong and I didn't have like the back face. Yep. Oops, I completely forgot to save the files. Hope it doesn't crash. Please don't crash. I didn't save anything. I was speaking to myself because I actually pressed the mute button on the mic. So I was saying that nothing will actually save Jose. I will have red wax and all of his subtools. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's karma. But I don't care. Yeah, it wasn't muted. I was speaking just to myself. So it won't take me that long this time because I'm not going to invest that much time this on this like pattern this time at least. We already lost a lot of time with that crash. Yeah, I'm actually saving right now because it won't happen to me again. But it's weird. I mean, I always try to be very careful with that and save constantly. I guess I was too distracted by the subtools and the red wax. Yeah, I think this is fine. Oh, maybe that's too much. Well, we'll fix it. No, it doesn't look like the one before. It's a conspiracy of the anti-red wax people. But I actually have like a comment of Jose, which I saved because he said he was willing to use the red wax material I did for Keyshot. So he was actually accepting that red wax is beautiful. Oh, I know why. It's very intense. But... Hey Marun, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo estás? Pues aquí haciendo un poco de prueba y error con esto. Hey bigotrazos. Edgar, ¿cuál es la ventaja de Sculptris Pro y los Live Booleans? ¿Sigue siendo utilizado? Sí, de hecho son bastante diferentes. Sculptris Pro puedes decir que es como un Dynamage 2.0 y Live Booleans es bastante útil para hard surfaces. deep inside, deep inside you, I'm pretty sure you're also a red wax lover. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's working. I really like the other design that I did, but That's what I get for not saving the file. And let me rename this. And I'm going to duplicate. And now try. I think it's way too thick, so I'm going to try make it a little less thick. Well, if you are not a red wax lover, I'm pretty sure you are like a normal, a normal guy. I mean, sculpting with a gray material, it's pretty easy. It's for like, it's like playing a game in an easy difficulty, but sculpting with a normal map, that's like playing on legendary. Hey Hannibal, how are you doing? Actually, I can use one of the new deformers. Um, not sure if use bend arc or deformer. Oops, wrong side. So for this is like trial and error, trying to find the right side. You gotta love the cones, man. Embrace the cones. It's been really hard for me, to be honest. Except for Project Primitive. For that one, it's been a little more easy, but no, 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 no. Oh man, I give up. I think I'm going to use deformer. That's going to be like ZBrush 2018.1. I will pay for that update. I'm having a lot of issues with the deformer. Maybe it wasn't this one the one I was looking for. Okay, let me see. So I already lost a lot of time with the crash, so I think I'm going to do this like by hand. Otherwise, I'm going to be like spending a lot of time trying to figure out the deformer and how to do it. Plus, I can actually fix it later. Doesn't have to be like perfect. Yeah, way better. I will need to make like this in the proper way, but I want to actually sculpt something, otherwise I'm going to spend all night playing with the deformers until it works the way I want it. I was defeated by the deformer. I'm also pretty sure there is an easier way to do this. So I think I'm gonna leave it like that right now. I want to do the same thing for this part, but I'm gonna invest a lot of time on that, and I actually want to sculpt something. So what I'm going to do is create shoulder plates. It's going to be like an armor. So I want to play like with the very low poly looking shapes that Jose did for the back of the head, but I don't want it to be like the same over and over, like the same rhomboid figure. So I'm going to try to find a shape that I actually like. I mean, the creature has like a very big chest. So I want something that frames this part of the head, like the same way. For example, if you can actually see the design. The mouth is being framed by this like armor, and then I'm guessing it's like his ears are framing this part of the face and the chest. So I want to do the same. I want to create like a shape that actually frames the entire head to keep like consistent design of framing everything. So it's a frame inside a frame inside a frame. Actually, I could make something like this, but also to be like hollow and add these the type of details on top of the armor. Hey, Óscar TV, how are you? Still trying to figure out design. So this is going to be mainly the shoulders. So I have two ideas for the arms. The first one is to have like these very, very long arms, long and thin arms. So that's one of the ideas I had for the arms. The other one is to have like the opposite. To have like very short arms. Like it's gonna be like weird looking to have like these big shoulders and the small arms. Like a WoW armor. I'm gonna look for some armors from World of Warcraft to see what you mean. I never played the game, mainly because I was too scared that I would lose control and forget about everything and invest a lot of time in the game. I don't seem to have a lot of self-control in games, so that's why I actually never touched World of Warcraft. Yeah, exactly, like T-Rex arms. So I think that's a more interesting idea for the creature. They have like this very majestic looking armor and very small arms. It's a little funny and sad at the same time. Oh yeah, I see what you mean by the armor of World of Warcraft. Yeah, I really like the design. So I'm gonna steal some ideas from them. Red wax in the morning, your coffee. What else do you want in life? I mean, you have everything. Would be nice to have a little bit of fur in the face with fiber mesh. Yeah, but with all these things that I'm adding to the face, I don't think it's going to be like visible because you can actually barely see the mouth right now, which is fine because I wasn't very big fan of the design of the mouth. Having this is my way of hiding things that I don't like. It's a cheap way of working. So right now I don't want Sculptress Pro. I'm going to split this, and I want to block out everything with spheres, just like I used to do before Sculptress Pro came into my life and changed everything. Oh, because why not Sculptress Pro? Because I want to have like a very low poly mesh, since I have no idea what I'm doing, and but I know it's going to be like an arm, a very well traditional looking arm. For me, it's easier just to add like spheres, like very low poly spheres, and then use them to create the muscle system while keeping like a very low poly mesh. I mean, probably I'm going to use Sculptress Pro, but not for the arms. I mean, we already have like a very decent looking arm. A mid heel. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. Chauhan. That's. I think that's correct. Shane also always use low poly plus dynamic subdivision for stuff like this. Yeah, I've seen his work. S- So it's funny because before streaming, I took this idea from a friend, which actually took the one of those classes of Shane Olson from like character design. And then I saw the streamings from Shane. I was like, oh man, it's way easier to work like this. He makes everything look easier, but at least this part it's easy. So it's always nice to steal techniques from others. Si quisieras esculpir lo que hay dentro de un pan, ¿cómo lo harías? Actually, oh, the way Mordecai is actually telling you, it's a very nice way. Do you have maybe plane, and then with array or nanomesh create little spheres, and then use that as boolean. That would be like one way of doing it. Podrías usar como array mesh o con nanomesh, crear muchas esferitas, como te dice Mordekainer, y esas luego usarlas como para crear el boolean. O yeah, that's the way I'm actually thinking. Yeah, because I was thinking in creating, for example, let's say let's say this is your bread, your tasty bread, and you can actually create different brushes like this. For example, I'm going to add this one. Oh, for example, I have this sphere. And then when with move, with the gizmo, I press Control, move, and then once I have like the desired distance between the spheres, I release Control while still pressing the left click, and then do this. And I don't know. I'm trying to like improvise a little bit. They have like a very weird looking shape. And this you can actually use it as a boolean system. Like this, so you have more control over like um, the pores. So that could be another way. I mean, or you can like, I think the easiest way so far is you can actually take a photograph of a bread, like a close-up, and then use that as an alpha. That's like, I think, the easiest, very straightforward way of doing it. But I'm, I don't know, that's just an idea. So let me see. Uh, Let me change of material. Oh, we almost forget this one. There we have it. Isn't it beautiful? And let me rename this too. Cause I hate having like everything with the same shape and names. For example, for this one, I'm actually going to use Sculptris. I mean, I want to play with the shapes, but I'm not certain right now what I'm doing. I'm sorry. If you have a picture of a tattoo stencil, how would I put it on my sculpt arm? So, for example, let's use the almighty sphere, and I'm going to download like a tattoo. Um, for example, mm, this one because I really like bees. Bees. So what I'm going to do is go to texture, import, and I'm going to import the tattoo. Right now I have this tattoo of a beer, and then go back to texture. I'm going to select the texture that I imported, and then hit right here and add to spotlight. And well, you have several options right here. You have scale. If you click on top of the image, you will be able to move like this ring of options. And by holding click and moving, you will be able to drag the tattoo. I'm going to make smaller the radius of the stroke, and by pressing C on the keyboard will turn on and off what's the name of this? Spotlight. So I'm going to select standard brush. I'm going to deactivate materials and turn on RGB, and oops, CAD. I'm going to deactivate CAD too, and then I'm just going to paint. So I hope this helps, Hannibal. I'm not certain if this is what you were asking for, and how to add like a stencil on top of your mesh, which you can actually like, for example, move it and here it rotate, so you can actually fit it the way you want, and then just paint. Yep. If it's like a black and white image, as Mordekainer said, you can just load it as an alpha and do the same thing. I mean, import. Well, I don't seem to have like a lot of alphas right here. They can actually use. Let's use Nicolas Cage face here. So it's the same. Pretty much the same stuff. Oops, not working. Oh, I'm just working with RGB. Well, I want that tattoo on my arm. So it's the same. You can actually import like a black and white image or a color one. So right now this image is with color. However, if it doesn't have any color, it's the same thing. To be honest, this is like one of those things on the internet that I find like very very funny. I have like a collection of different faces of, well, different cats with faces of Nicolas Cage. I have no idea why. I just whenever you're sad, you can actually see at this face, and you will no longer be sad. I can guarantee that. So that's an easy way to add like a tattoo stencil. El Mr. Pack. ¿Qué onda, bro? ¿Cómo estás? Oh yeah, I completely forgot. You need to disable Spotlight in order to keep working, because I was just pressing C, and I mean it wanted to keep working with the stencil I already had. So if you press Shift C, it will deactivate Spotlight. Thanks, Mordekainer. You've been saving me. So I want to make like a hard surface looking arm. I mean shoulder. But I also want to keep like this organic looking. We're designing right here for I'm not certain what this is, like a mask. Like a breathing mask maybe. What's with the red snowflake? That's like I guess you mean, give me a second. You mean this one, right? Yeah, it's like my logo. So I couldn't find any place where to place it. I wanted to add it like right here on the materials. However, it was going to be like very confusing. So I decided just to place it like right here on top of everything. Because I don't actually have any button right here. So it's a dead space. The heretic sang. So I'm thinking maybe this part is going to be like hollow. Or maybe have like a cool design right here. Yep. It's going to be like the hollow part of the shoulder blades. And this part is going to be like connected by like soft tissue. Like this, like very organic looking. So I want to make like these things Jose did for the chest. So it's going to be like connecting all the several parts of the body and the armor together. Thanks. So I just mirror and weld. They have like the front and the back part of the shoulder blades to be the same, and activate like asymmetry on the C axis. So everything that I do on the front is going to be like modified in the back. Plus, I mean, the X axis. So everything I do on the left is going to be affected on the right. Hey, Twiblik, long time no see. How are you, mate? So I guess I want to do this a little more straight. Mm, no, I think I like it this way. Oh man, I see. Well, nice for you to join in. I've been great, thanks. This is like the second creature I do with Jose in the streaming, like as in a collaboration streaming. It's been really, really nice experience. It's been really fun, to be honest. I think this part is going to be like hard surface looking. So what I'm going to do is create a mask for this in order to separate this part and this one. Oh, thank you. I still I was just thinking about the last collaboration with Jose. I mean, we created the character, but I never did like a proper render of it. I did like a quick paint over, but I think I really need to work on top of it and create a decent looking shader for it. And right now I'm just like sketching on top of it because for this hard surface stuff I'm going to use booleans. This is just like a guide of things I want to add into the mesh. For example, I want this type of ventilation systems on the shoulders also. And I'm going to try to keep like this design. I mean, it's pretty simple. Like for the hard surface stuff, apparently the organic stuff is it's more decorated than the hard surface. So for this, I'm going to keep like the same design, which is going to be like very simple shapes. Le vas a dar al player unknown, ¿verdad, Mr. Pack? Oh man, cool. Do you have like a preview of what you're doing? Like, are you able to share anything? The creature sounds very, very interesting. Va, va, pues gracias por andar aquí, bro. Al rato nos topamos a ver si el fin se arma el player o el Overwatch. So I'm trying to find like very hard surface looking shapes. I think that's it. Cámara besos. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we were well, at least I was struggling a lot with the face. I wasn't a big fan, at least of the mouth. So these type of things are easy to cover the ugly parts that I don't want anyone to see. Still have to do this like in the right way. It looks very rough. Hey, Dongyua, she, hi mate. Oh man, I'm looking forward then to that project. It's gonna be like a big project. Starting from paper to having like the entire mesh created, it's going to be super fun. And you said it has to be done by June. How are you getting the brush to create a straight line? So for example, you have your dem standard. So what I'm going to do is click on the mesh, and once I started to click, I press shift and hold both of them, and I will have like this line that will create like a straight line. If I want to move it, I can press while pressing shift and holding the click of the Wacom. I can press space to move the line wherever I want, and where I want to create the line, I just release, and usually it works. Ah, because it's not selected that subtool. But that's the idea. I mean, there you have it. So you can create the line, place it wherever you want, and you have like a very straight line. So the important thing is you need actually to click first on the model and then press shift. Right now, because I don't have any topology right there, creates the like the tessellated mesh. However, if I were to do it like in a like right here. Oh, cool. Yeah, I look forward to your project. Sounds really interesting. It sounds like it's going to be like a lot of hard work. So good luck with it. Yeah, I tend to use his views a lot. For example, for this part of the body, like I'm not certain. I think so. I think I did like the base mesh with C-spheres, but I no longer remember. But most of the time I try to use C-spheres because one of the cool things is that actually Sculpt Pro works perfectly with C-spheres. For example, you have I have like something like this, which I want to create like a mesh. Well, let me create like a low poly mesh. So what I'm going to do is on adaptive skin, I'm going to place Dynamesh resolution to 0 because I don't want to have like a very high poly mesh after I create the Dynamesh, the C-spheres. For example, I have this one, which is very low poly looking. Create a make poly mesh 3D. And for example, I have this, and now I can actually start sculpting on top of it. I can actually turn on sculptures, and it will work on top of it without having any issues. So at least for blocking the model or the character, sea spheres are super useful even though they're super old. They still work perfectly with the new features of ZBrush. Hey Kyle, how are you, man? Nice to see you here too. Yeah, the idea behind these parts is actually to have like a very, even though it's an alien, I wanted to have like this very Victorian Baroque looking, like it's supposed to be like a very important alien, maybe like a politician or I don't know, a high-ranking alien. So he has like these details on top of the armor that it it makes the mesh to be the character to be look more appealing. Since it's an alien, it's really easy to be like very foreign and to have very weird looking shapes. However, since I have like these ornate shapes that you can actually like see on a lot of old sculptures, it's easy to relate because you've seen those images before, so it's easier. Hey David, bien bien aquí, dándole un poco al stream, medio lento pero ahí vamos. Yeah, it's awesome. I haven't used that much spheres lately, but I mean they're super useful. So right now I want to keep like making the design of the shoulder plates. I don't think I will be able to create like a lot of detail for them, but the idea is to have like this part to be very hard surfacey, this part to be like very fleshy looking, and in the middle I want to create like maybe an opening and having like these shapes again, the ones on the mouth, on top of here, like windows. So it's gonna be a mix of different techniques. Ahora se vienen los spoilers de tu artículo en 3D Artist. ¿Crees que se puede hacer clay materials en V-Ray sin morir en el intento? Sí, David. De hecho, ¿sabes? Yo inicié con V-Ray. La verdad, la única razón por la que pude hacer el material en Keyshot es porque ya más o menos le agarraba la onda a los materiales de V-Ray. Y hacer como la migración de Keyshot, de V-Ray a Keyshot es súper sencilla. Así que si aprendes por la difícil, ya migrar a lo fácil es pan comido. De hecho, ando trabajando en hacer un material igual para V-Ray. Igual y no igual, porque la verdad es que con V-Ray tienes más libertad de los materiales. Entonces, para ser honesto, creo que se vería mucho mejor el material, pero, pero no justamente trabajando en eso. Y es de las cosas que pienso estar ahí librando en mi Gumroad. Ese tipo de materiales como, pues materiales que no tiene chiste que los estés haciendo todas las veces. O sea, cada que crees un modelo estés creando esos materiales, sino que los tengas como en tu librería y a partir de ahí puedas simplemente ponérselos a tu modelo. Nah, it's okay. I mean, a lot of people completely forgot that the C spheres existed because of stuff like Dynamesh, for example, and booleans. However, I find them pretty useful. Oh, thanks, Kyle. I wasn't really sure if it was you. Oh man, thanks. Really appreciate it. I still have to work like, well, to finish I forgot the word. The assignment for the ASC masterclass. Hopefully, like between tomorrow and the weekend, I'm going to finish it. So, do you already know what you are going to do for the assignment? I mean, have you already started? So I have like these weird shapes inside. I have no idea why. So actually, for the hands, I'm thinking in using scissors. I don't know. The thing is, I'm not certain what type of hands I actually want to create for this alien. I was going for like three finger hands, but I don't know if it feels a little cliche. Um, but I'm gonna leave it right now like that. I don't think I need to create the hands right now. So what I'm going to do is in a different tool. I'm going to start working on the hard poly hard surface shoulders because what I did right now, I mean, super sketchy. Mainly the idea was just that to create using Sculpt Pro, like the main shapes and the lines where I want to be like where I want like the window of the shoulders and like these cuts and this like breathing hole. I don't know. Oh yes, super cool. The new update. To be honest, at the beginning I wasn't really certain that Sculpt Pro was that much a game changer, but it's definitely a game changer. At least for my work, it's been super useful. Makes everything quicker, like a ton quicker. Mm, append shoulders. So I don't know. Yep. So I'm going to duplicate this, and what I want is like a clean mesh with all these without all these details. So I'm going to use one of those new deformers. This is super useful. Mask. Oops. I think I'm gonna use first remesh by animation. Okay, there it goes. Mm, oops. So I think I'm going to need to create this a little more thicker. Oh, no. I have no idea when. Pretty sure I saved. I just don't remember when was the last time I saved. And I'm being really, really distracted with this. Oh, oops. I saved it. Yep. Nice to see that I actually saved this time the file. So again, I'm going to. I don't need this one. Okay, so I have the shoulders. What I need to do right now is make this part a little thicker. So it doesn't break once I start doing the Dynamesh. Hey, Oscar. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really sure at the beginning, but now I can't imagine my workflow without Sculpt Pro. How was the GDC this year? Did you attend then? I mean, I really want to go like next year. Also to Monster Palooza, it looks really really fun. A lot of cool artists. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did the same thing. I just watched some of it. I didn't watch them all, but I did watch some of the streaming. Okay, let's see if I don't have any issues right now. So yep, apparently everything is working fine. So I don't need to keep all those details. To be honest, I'm gonna delete them. This I'm just using this to create a base mesh with the same shape. Right now, what I'm going to do is remesh this. Actually, yep. El programa de rookies. Sí, siempre quería atender, pero la verdad es que como ahorita ya no estoy estudiando nada y es solo para estudiantes, pues creo que ya en mi caso ya valió. Al menos por ahorita. Pero sí, la verdad es que los internships y los premios se ven muy buenos. Aparte que hacen un buen de features, o sea, te muestran como por todas partes, sales en revistas, está muy bueno el concurso. Si tienes oportunidad, aprovecha la verdad. Esas cosas que me gustaría hacer, pero creo que ahorita ya no puedo. Hey, I like Dune. You mean like Dune the book? um, I mean this is just like a plane that I'm not really using. It's just trash. What I'm doing right now is I append like the shapes of the shoulder blades and then use the deformer of remesh by Dynamesh and then see remesh everything. Because what I'm going to do is add all those details and all those hard surface cuts with booleans. That's why I actually decided to do all this of remeshing and deleting all the details. Pero pues no siempre y solo ha sido en una revista. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of the city. I was a little bit too nerd by saying like the book Dune. So yeah, I think it's pretty clean right now. So what I'm going to start doing is just adding. I'm thinking if I should first. I'm going to add like the old shoulder plates. They have them as a guide. And I'm going to use this to make the little window. Now let me see, without transparency. Yep, there it goes. Yeah, nothing at all like Dune. The Dune I had in mind then. My ignorance spoke for me. So what I'm doing is creating like the same arrow looking shape that I have on the other mesh. Mm, Actually, I think it's gonna be easier just to add a sphere and sculpt to that shape. I have no idea why I'm doing this the hard way. I really wish one day I will be able to go to New Zealand. I know it's not nothing like desert, but each time I hear like New Zealand, I can't avoid thinking like in a little of a desert environment because of Gallipoli and the Anzac forces, and I have like this idea of like the beaches of Gallipoli like very looking not like desert but very rocky and like that. Thanks. Well, if you ever come to Mexico, just tell me and I'll show you around. Yeah, like super, super green. Thanks, guys. I'll do the same for you. I mean, if you ever visit Mexico, I'll give you a tour. Deal. So what I'm going to do now is try to keep like the same design that I did before while sketching. So I'm just trying to look for the proper shape. Still not super in love with the shape. I'm not really in love with the shape that I'm doing right here, so I think I'm gonna leave it right here, this part, when I focus on other details. going to modify this with C remesher. I mean with C modeler. I have way too many loops here. And it's gonna be the same for this part. And adding some edges. No, I'm not really liking the shape of this. Maybe what I did need is actually do another pass with the zero mesh. I think this one is better. There it goes. Yep. And I think I have way too many edges right here, so I'm going to do the same thing of removing some of them. Um, Mm, yeah, I don't really like that cut. This one is really good. What I'm going to do is remove this edge and this edge because I don't actually need them. And the one in the middle. Extruding and masking this part. So now I have the shape that I wanted before. And I think it's gonna be easier just to add another cube right here. And another cube right here. Just trying to make like the same design because I did before. Mm, so I still want to add a lot of details on the shoulder plates, but right now I want to see how they look on top of the model. So what I'm going to do is create Boolean mesh. And I think it's working really, really good, the design. I mean, I still have plenty things to change. Let me see what this is. Oh, it's part of the... Change my names. So I'm just trying to see shapes, if they actually fit with the design I'm doing. I think I'm going to add just one more detail with the ornaments. And I'm gonna call it done for now. Actually, I'm going to need to add to hide the shoulders. The cool thing of having like the very abstract design is that I don't actually need to worry about deforming too much the mesh. That was like one of the main ideas. I'm gonna look for a quicker way to do this instead of doing just by hand everything. Pretty sure there has to be another way. Mm. And just one more detail with this shape. I'm thinking adding right here. Done. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it done by now. For now, it's looking really interesting. I still want to create like this type of webbing on this part of the shoulder, but I want to wait to see what Jose does next in order to for me to decide what to do with the shoulder blades. So hey everyone, thanks for stopping by, for being here in the stream, and for all the help with the questions and suggestions. They've been really useful to create this character. So have a good night and have a good day for you guys who are like in the other side. Thanks, guys. Nos vemos. Que descansen. Hey, thank you, guys. Have a good night. Uh, Good day. I suppose it's already like in the morning, I guess, in New Zealand. So have a good day, guys.